Hi, Rick here from Papa Bear Racing. Today we're going to take a look at socket organization. We're going to look at the Alien Space Saver system, and we're going to look at two different kinds from Harbor Freight. We're going to look at this kind, and we're going to look at this kind. So stick around. Okay, so before we start the show, I want to let you know that I'm not sponsored by Summit Racing by any means. I just had a shirt to wear. The good folks at Alien Space Saver did send me a set of their socket organizers after they saw my video on their wrench organization. And I'm going to go ahead and put a link at the end of the video to the review on the wrench organizer. Okay, first up, we're going to take a look at the US General multi-rail socket tray. And this is from Harbor Freight, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's very reminiscent of when you first started organizing your sockets and you bought those little rails like that with the little clip-on springs, and you cut your fingers on them and they never held quite right. The springs got rusty, the sockets would fall off. Well, US General has taken that step, taken the rails and riveted them onto a piece of sheet metal so you can carry it to the job site. Let's take a look at it though. So as you see, I put up my metric sockets except for my impacts. And I'm going to go ahead and place them onto the tray, and you don't want to watch me stick them all on. So I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and here's how I was able to organize my sockets. This is my 3/8 inch deep, my 1/4 inch deep, my 3/8 inch standard, my 1/4 inch standard depth. Now, it's a little funky because this is a 3/8. I'd like to be able to put it there. And this is a 1/2 inch, and I'd like to put it there. This one was part of the original set. The other was not. I had to add it for something weird I was working on. So what's good about this is you have some versatility. You can slide this up, take off one of these clips here. This is where these things are famous for cutting your fingers. Put it on there, and I'm able to pop that guy on. Whoops. It's supposed to go on this one over here, sorry. And slide these guys down. Pop. That's on there. See how easy it was to move it? Well, this one is a 1/2 inch drive, but it's part of that set basically. So I'm going to move it down a little bit more. This is where the versatility of this system comes in. I'm not a fan of these clips. They hurt my fingers all the time. They get rusty. But it does offer you a lot of versatility. And by having them riveted to the piece of metal like they've done this time, makes it a lot more user-friendly, actually, instead of just having a single rail stuck in your socket drawer. So I'm having a heck of a time with this guy, which you might want to note. There we go, got that on there. Need to slide them down some more. Boom. I've got a combination of 3/8 and a 1/2 inch on the same thing, kind of like the same set. All right, so I don't have any 1/2 inch drive metric sockets except for my impacts. I don't do that much metric stuff. I do mostly muscle cars, American motorcycles, and Corvettes. And Corvettes, of course, have some changeover where there were some funky years where they were 1/2 metric and 1/2 American. So this fit all of my metric sockets, except for my impacts, easily. Now my impacts would probably fit on all these. And I would be able to pick this up, and as long as the clips are working, I can carry this to a job site. I can take it out to a car and lay it down while I work on it. And it does have the versatility of being able to put 3/8, 1/4 inch, or 1/2 inch next to each other. So that's a plus. The minus is, of course, these spring things. I freaking hate them. They hurt my fingers. They get rusty. but it does offer versatility, so of course it's a trade-off. Next up, we're going to look at the US General socket trays that have the stems. So hold on a second, let me get that ready. Okay, we're back, and I've loaded up the socket organizers from Harbor Freight. And look, immediately see a problem with the 1/4-inch drive. My Snap-on set, I don't know if you can see in there, is not deep enough to go over the things. Had several sockets like that. Then down here, I didn't have one for the 4, and they didn't have one for the 4 and the deep also. So the 3/8 tray came out pretty good. My Snap-on set goes from 8 through 19. I don't have a 20. There's no skips in the Snap-on set. In my deep sockets, it goes from 9 to 19. So I have some sockets, I remember we talked about before, that would normally go in this set. And that would be the 26 and the 27. And I have the 27 in the deep, but I don't have the 20. So where do I put those guys? That's a problem. What do I do with these guys here? Do I hacksaw them off so that I don't continually look for the socket? So let's summarize. I didn't put my 1/2-inch drive impacts on the thing, but that set does skip. So I know that there would be a couple of empty ones here and down here too, I'm pretty sure. Anyhow, so we have a problem with that. This tray is very limited into what works with it. If you have more than a certain number of sockets, it's not going to work. If you have empty ones, you're going to have to hacksaw them off, or you're going to continually go, geez, I must have lost a 7mm socket somewhere. We also have problems with the inside of the Snap-on sockets not being able to go down over the post. That's a problem. So anyhow, next up, we're going to do the Alien Space Saver. So let me remove my sockets and we'll get that guy out. Whoops, before we continue, I wanted to show you another thing that was kind of odd with the Harbor Freight system. Some of the sockets, like my 7mm, will drop over the top of that little post. So I can put that on there like that. Now the 8mm doesn't drop, and so it doesn't fit real secure on there. So that's just another problem with this one. Okay, on to the Alien Space Saver. The Alien Space Saver socket organizer is based upon the same principle as the wrench organizer. It has 2 1/4-inch aluminum rods, and the plastic parts clip onto it. It has the flexibility of being able to move these anywhere along the rod, and once on there, it's very strong. So let me go ahead and load up my sockets. You don't want to watch me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's go ahead and start with the 1/4-inch. They fit in nicely. The deep's behind the shallow, just like how I organize them always. The plastic part contains 2 parts, a lower and a higher. So what I would probably do, since I use the back, is I would probably take a hacksaw and cut off the knobs so I don't end up going after, geez, I'm missing another socket. Because that's kind of the way I am. Maybe it's a anxiety thing, but I don't like to lose tools, especially when you buy good tools, right? So look at that. That is nice. I can take this whole piece out to the job site. I can put it on the floor of a car and work. Now my 3/8, I did break one off. I broke one of the plastic pieces off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swap it out with one that I didn't. So I'll be right back. Okay, you can see I broke off one of the plastic pieces, and that was my own fault. It was not the fault of the product. I had it on there, and I was trying to use the socket to wiggle it over to align it differently, and I broke it off. That's my own darn fault. And actually what I would probably do is position it, because I have an empty one here, and I would saw that one off anyway. So I would swap this one out like that. So the 3/8 inch, look at that, works perfect. Again, I can take that out. Now I didn't put my 1/2 inch, but I do have, remember, some sockets that weren't part of the original set. The Alien Space Saver fits perfectly standard sockets from Snap-on with no skip. Now, I bought some additional sockets that are kind of big because I needed them for stuff that kind of match this set, but they're a 1/2-inch drive, so I couldn't really put them on here. Normally, I would like to have them all in a line like that, but because the Alien Space Saver cannot combine a 3/8 with a 1/2-inch, I'm unable to do that. Okay, let's take a look at the pricing of all these things. First, this one, $19.95, Harbor Freight. Would I buy it? No. The thing's cut my fingers. It does offer versatility, but I just don't like the style with the clips. This one, $25. Again, I don't like it. It pre-writes the numbers on there on the post. And also my snap-on sockets don't fit over the top of the post. Would I buy it? No. All right, next up, we have the Alien Space Saver. It comes with a 1/4 inch, the 3/8, and a 1/2-inch set of rails and plastic parts. This system goes for $49.95. It does have a few things that kind of bother me. I can't combine the 3/8 and 1/2-inch on the same 2-rail set. And again, I'm forced to have empty pegs by the way it lines up, and I end up hacksawing them off, so I don't always go searching for the socket. Would I buy it? I don't know, maybe. It's a little on the pricey side, and I'm not real happy with how it limits you. You can't combine a 3/8 on the same rail as a 1/2-inch. If they could just change that, that would make a whole lot of difference to me. So, what is the perfect socket organizer? I don't know. The search continues. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Thanks.